Katie, where you going? Katie, come back. Oh, sun's out. That's the daughter dropped off at school. And I'm off to Packington now. Should be there 15 minutes to an hour away. And it's going to be a decent day weather-wise, which makes a change to one of my videos. So I've had hardly any sleep, as you can probably tell from my bleary eyes. I went to bed very, very late anyway, 1:15. And then at 1:30, all sorts of scurrying in the loft, and my daughter comes running in. Daddy, what's that noise? I'm scared. Can I get into bed with you? And that was the end of my night's sleep. So hopefully I'll still be able to catch a few, even though I'm very, very tired. But yeah, hopefully we'll get there on time. And it's a rover today, so I'm quite looking forward to being able to pick a nice peg in nice weather. We'll see how we get on. Right, we are off. Let's go. Gonna kick off on bomb and bread. Nice little light bomb, 3 discs of bread. And see if we get any liners on that tip. Hopefully some fish on the tip. I've started to the left of these reeds opposite, purely because I've seen 2 or 3 F1s roll between me and Pete on peg 10. So seemed like the best place to start when they're waving at you. So we know there's 1 or 2 in the peg anyway. Great big one rolled in front of Pete about 20 minutes ago. It looked like it was like cleaning itself off. So we'll chuck this out. And now at this venue you're allowed to feed whilst you're fishing. So I'm going to pot in on the pole line as well. But I'll probably give this a good half hour on the bomb, cast around, see if we get any signs, keep looking for fish. I'll kick off the pole line with just a few 4mm and a little nugget of ground bait and micros. Just 1 spot to begin with. I've plumbed up 2 or 3 areas, but just 1 spot to begin with till we know what's what. Nice and accurate. Flat calm at the moment. You might have seen my last video at Royal Berkshire Fishery, and I'm fishing a lot stronger than that. 0.20, because you could catch a 20-pound carp today, which is why I've set up a bigger landing net as well as this little one. I got caught out last week. I caught a 17-pound 5-ounce carp, and a bit of a shuffle in this little landing net. So I've always said if I draw on Molands especially, just set up a reserve net in case you hook something massive, because there are some monsters in here. There's 20-pounders in here, but the main target's going to be big F1s, 2 to 4 pound or bigger, and hopefully some bonus carp as well, and any skimmers and bits and bobs that come along. I've got maggots, but actually I'm hoping to catch on pellets mostly today. I think because it's gone slightly mild, the roach are going to be really active, and they're like little piranhas in this place. I think there's 1 little roach top then, just as I spoke. So yeah, we'll stick to the pellet approach, and we can feed maggots later if we need to. Maybe down the side, maybe short, but out in the open, I'm going to catch on pellets, I'm hoping. Well, I'm having a banana because I've had hardly any sleep. Wind's changed, it's sort of blowing this way now. Right, I've had my banana, got my energy. Keep firing some 6s, about 4/5 of the way across. Oh, the F1 just rolled there, some fish moved in. I've had a couple of chucks on bomb and bread. Pretty rubbish. This is my first chuck on a little 20-gram inter open alloy feeder. A nice F1. There's fish moving, so great sign. That's the stamp we want, that and bigger. A couple of pound. So we're off. Unfortunately it took 45 minutes to catch that, so it's a slow start. Now, let's have a quick look on the pole. Very, very quick look. The last 2 fish I've seen have been on the pole line. Took 45 minutes for that fish, so yeah, we'll do that. Just pop a little 4mm expander on. Just a tiny pinch of micros. See if we can't catch on this early. The wind's definitely changed since I walked around this morning. I've just fed a couple of times with just a tiny little nugget of micros and ground bait and a few hard 4mm. This is a very good chance we'll catch on hard pellet today. Definitely shifted round that wind. I've been pinging some 6s about 4/5 of the way across as well. Just lightly, just 3s and 4s. I quite fancy catching an odd fish on the bomb over there if they won't come on the pole. I've got a feeling we'll catch on this. It's just how early and yeah. One. Great start. Nice dog. Hopefully it's one of the big old ones. I'm just fishing a 16 to 010. Don't fish any lighter than that. The F1s are, well, £10 F1s in this lake. There's no point going lighter than that today. That's a fantastic start, catching one. First look on pellet. 4mm expander. What we want is these big old ones. Hopefully this is one of those. It feels like it is. What we don't want is this wind to get up, which it just has. It's about 6 or 7 foot there. It's clear water in Molands, so they always pull. Always. Might be a common. There is a common. Common carp. Well, not the F1 I was hoping for, but a very welcome common. Always cold. Catch, don't you? Pop another bow expander on. Do that again. Just wet the pot. A few micros. Just a pinch. Right. I'm also waiting for them to settle. Fire a few 6s in that reed bed there. Wow, to catch this early on the pole at Molands is unheard of for me. It normally takes a couple of hours. That's a 4-pound big one. It's an F1, but it's got a barbel on one side. Never seen that before. I'm just fishing a little half-gram rig, Vulcan 2 number 9 droppers. I've got a strung out for I've got a strung out 0.4 gram rig as well. If it was harder, we'll keep things nice and stable with this half-gram rig to begin with. 8 to 10 slip. 010 to a 16. And I've got a shorter line which I'll fire up soon if this gets really good. If it gets any windier I won't be able to fish this, so or we can chuck a bomb over it. Ooh. Stop blowing so I can catch it. But at the moment, now I'm actually fishing it, I've cut out the ground bait and I'll just keep putting a bit of ground bait in if I think it needs it. But ideally I just want to feed pellets, but the ground bait's the attractor and the holding bait really. Oh, it's a little ghosty. Beautiful fish. That a ghost mirror. Stunning fish. Didn't know they put any of those in this lake. This is unbelievable. Best start ever. Very orange belly. Five bites, 5 fish. And it's so good already. I'm going to feed a shorter line already. Just a pinch of 4 mils. And another little nugget of ground bait and micros in a medium toss pot. Try and catch another one long, and then we'll have a quick look. It's exactly the same depth as my long line, so dead easy to have a quick look. Get back on that long line. Amazing. A few more pellets in this time. And the wind's dropped again now, so it's nice. Just got up for a few minutes, didn't it? Just keep firing in some 6s there. You never know, we might have to rest it if this suddenly goes dead. I'm going to repeat this, but I can't believe how good this is today. This lake, this moody Molands, punishes here more often than not. Today, they're having a munch. We're only just an hour in. A pinch of micros in, and I'm also going to just pop a few 4 mils in. Keeps them on the bottom a bit more. Yup. Calm down. Well, considering my target was sort of £35, I'm a third of the way there already. Another mirror. Just wet down the saucer. I did not know they'd put some of these in. These are stockies. They put these in big gearers. I didn't know they put them in this lake as well. Brilliant. That absolute stunner. Let's just have a look, see if there's anything short. It's exactly the same depth as my 14 metre swim, so this is about 8 metres. Oh, there's a little dink straight away. The roach and skimmers like pellets on this lake as well though, so it doesn't mean it was an F1. It's a tiny little wobble anyway. There. Wowee. More often than not, the fish in this lake do not feed. Today they are. They are in my bag anyway. It's literally first look, it's been in there 20 seconds. Just hope all the other lakes aren't fishing. Fed then was a tiny little nugget, micros and ground bait, just to bomb it down a bit and just press it into the side of the pot so it sticks. Try not to bounce too much so it doesn't bounce out. Obviously it's easy to catch this short. It might be a different size of fish though as well. It could be bigger, it could be smaller. I'm just wondering whether to just stop feeding that bomb line now for a bit, or just keep lightly pinging it as a throwaway swim. But that was instant. Wow, I've never had a day like it in the winter, in February. It's black. Peg 8 on Molands. Who would have thought? I wanted peg 60 because all the scum was there, but there was a pleasure angler or one of the members on there. So I've gone this side, and the other reason I picked this side is purely because I'm here at the weekend on the Winter League. I'm 5th in the Winter League out of 60 at the moment, and obviously need a bit of practice. Just doing a good exercise. Hopefully I haven't peaked too soon. At the moment I'm well on course for 50 to 60 pounds. Repeat the process, as everybody says on videos. And repeat the process. Tap some pellets in. Repeat the process. Do you think it's possible to do an instructional fishing video without saying repeat the process? Already it's paid dividends, it's coming that bit shorter. I've got another swim that way, the same distance, which I plumbed up, not fed yet. Don't need to yet. Let's just keep that line and that line, that's all we're going to do at the moment. If we start foul looking fish, or if it just goes quiet, then we'll fire up new swims, but I'm not changing anything at the moment. Now F1s being F1s, we might go bang 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 for 2 hours, 3 hours, hopefully 4 or 5 hours, and then boom, they might disappear and they say right, we've had enough, and then we'll just back off. So hopefully they're hungry enough and there's enough of them there to compete. So long as they've had to wait for a bite. Ooh. Took a bit longer, but we got one. You get a tiny little wobble just before it goes. Small one again. Ooh. He's got half a tail by the looks of it. Oh, poor thing. Took all its scales off. Oh, don't really see that. Really, it's all scarred up already. So it's definitely had a go at that. Poor thing. One more look on this. See how quickly this bite comes. I am going to feed that bomb monster. Move these tubs around as well. So we've had a dream start anyway. Okay, I've had a couple of fishless casts on a bomb, swapped to a little method and had a £2 F1. Thought I'd have an early look on the pole on the 45-minute mark, and I've had 5 F1s long and 3 F1s short. Ooh. I'm still getting bites. And for this venue, moody old Molands, that's a fantastic start. My target was sort of 35 to 50 pound to frame, and I'm well on course for that. Strangely, I've not seen Pete catch a lot to my left. Maybe I've just got the epicenter in front of me. I'm gonna feed my margins just with that much, that's all. It's 32 inches and it's quite flat there. I tried to find 3 foot but I couldn't. I just had a skimmer come off on the short line, so it's definitely time to have a look back long. They've been a bit smaller fish anyway short, but we'll keep swapping between the 2 swims I think. already I just don't think there's any point in fishing that bomb. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep lightly pinging it every now and again. Skimmer. The skimmers have arrived now. I'm going to probably feed that margin a couple of times before we're actually going on it. Well, swing this. Little Bobby. And if the skimmer's really moving, then we'll try hard pellets again. But at the moment, every time I fed a few 4 mils, it's not been very good. So let's just put a few micros in. Just dump them just to make sure they stick. Wet the bottom of the pot. Now this lake's definitely turned into more of a pellet water now. Hard to fish maggots now. You just attract roach. In the summer, hard pellet and meat and paste and things like that dominate now. A lot of hard pellet fishing on this lake now. Not a skimmer, is it? So let's not get ahead of ourselves, let's just carry on fishing nicely. And keep catching whilst we can. Make hay whilst the sun shines. They all came in like that to be laughing. That lovely fish. Oh, beautiful. One of the old golden ones, that. I've fed the margin twice now. With it being this good, they might have a go. A little scrappy. These younger ones are a bit scrappier. The big ones don't fight so much. Fantastic to see. Bear in mind we've had such a harsh winter as far as catching fish is concerned. We've probably had 3 or 4 settled days though, and that's all it matters. That's all it takes. Let's just go through a stick. Go away, stick. Oh, that's a big old one. Stick that away. It's a 3-pounder. At least £3 that one. Best looking F1s in the country. These big old Packington Warriors. Fire up a second line, second short swim. The long swim's gone a bit funny now. I think I'm going to replumb that at 13 metres, but before I do that, I'm going to fire up a second short swim. There, in those 2 flowers there, that birch tree, I think that's what it is. Same depth. I've just dropped a little nugget on this line just before. The bites have just gone a bit funny now. I just think they've just kicked up the bottom, that's what it is. So I need to start a new swim on a fresh bottom, I think, at least on that long line. That's from the ground bait and the soft pellet. It does attract these as well. Little tiny skimmer. I'm going to try feeding 4s now, just 4s to my right, and just a few 4s. You see him wean them off the ground bait and micros onto something a bit more substantial. I'm going to tap them in and then have a look where I've just fed that nugget to the left. I think we'll get a bite straight away. I think it might be a case of starting new swims if it does get funny. Walloped under. Good sign. Hopefully it's the right species. Yeah. Little fishes. It's just gone a bit quiet. I'm just catching little skimmers now. So I just fired up a new swim. I've come a section shorter at 13. Just feel I've lost control of my swim now. And if those F1s back off, the silvers are always straight on the seine. I fired up a left-hand short swim, but that was pretty poor. Just a skimmer and a roach. So I've tried feeding 4mm pellets, but it's just not right. Let's just stick to micros and a little bit of ground bait now and again. Yeah, what's happened is I'm pretty sure we've had gone bang, 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 caught F1s all over the peg, and then they've just gone, hey, oh, someone's fishing here. I just think they've just been a bit spooked. If this 30-metre swim doesn't work, then we'll fire up another one at 14, but more to the right. Oh, that was a little skimmer on then. It lifted. So that was definitely a little skimmer bite. That's not a skimmer. Oh, come on, Johnny boy, you're making a meal of this. Well, I've come back to 13 metres and just had one that was foul up, but I got it in. I've just had another big liner then, shot under, but it was definitely a liner. So some fish there. Just seem a little bit unsettled now. Just trying to work out how much bait to feed to get a bite. Definitely one there. I think they've just started to come in and waft a little bit, I think. Get away with it a little bit. I've just caught a 5-pound F1, but my cameras had run out, so so you never saw that, but it was a lovely fish. Big 5-pounder. So let's have a look down the side now. I've been feeding it. Let's just say. I'm just fishing a fraction heavier down the side, purely because I think there's a better chance of a carp down there. Wow. First look down the side. That's gone. That's a fantastic bite. Golden one. The one I caught just before that was twice the size. Sadly, you never saw it. Hopefully I'll catch another one. Ooh, got a little leech on me. Yeah. I'm fishing 11 metres down the side, just because there's a bit of reeds there and also plenty of distance between me and the fish. Ooh. Yep, 4-pounder. 2 and 2 drops. See if we can make it 3. Bagging up on the pellets in February. Bottom's really crap down there. I'll look that one. Right in the peg that was. Let's leave that alone for a little bit. A couple of early fish down there. Foul up one. Oh, sorry, I've had 2 come off and come back with a bit of muck. I feel I'm wasting a bit of time down there, so I'm going to quickly get back on that short line. I think we've got about an hour and 40 minutes to go. Hour and 35. Ooh. Yeah, maybe not. the golden oldies. Death roll on my rig. Starting to rain now. Alright, we've messed around down the sides for a bit. Probably a little bit too long, but we did catch one. So I'm back on the short line. I'm tempted to fire up some maggots to my right down the edge just to see if it's better. And keep with pellets to the left because that's been working. A lot of venues I'll be fishing maggots now, but the size of the fish you're catching, I think pellets are fine. I'm going to get the ground out of micros. I'm not sure if I said already, but that's F1 dark and Super Crush expander. That's bitter now. Temperatures just dropped 5 degrees. Jimmy Rimmer. Intended species. Hopefully there's one over that little bit of bait I fed a minute or two ago. Oh, float. That wasn't what I was expecting. Lovely bite. An expander. It's absolutely ravenous for pellets in this venue. It's definitely been hard to gauge how much bait to feed today. Tiny pinches have been not very good, but if you feed too much you don't get a bite, so it's somewhere in between. Yeah, the last hour she's gone back to being moody Molands, I think. Typical moody Molands behaviour. I think there's fish about, but they're having none of it. When I topped up the short line I put a pinch of maggots in as well, so I've got that option. That's the issue with feeding maggots. Whoop. Just try and double maggot over the short line now. Peg's gone away from me a little bit now, definitely. Just maybe they've gone off the pellet a little bit. Or maybe not. Roach everywhere. That's proved it. I'm not going to put another maggot on today. If this doesn't work here, I'm going to have to go back out to 13 metres, I think. I've lost my way in the last sort of 90 minutes. Ooh, there we are. Maybe not. Well, I was just umming and ahhing what to do there. Waited a little while and it's gone. Looks like a decent fish on that short line. So there are still a few fish about. Close to £4 that one. I think the fish have drifted to my left as the matches wore on, because that's the way the wind's been blowing. The ripple's all down that way now. Maybe if I'd have chosen peg 19 or 21, I'd have had a good end there. I'm sure they've blown down. I've just seen a skimmer roll then, but not seen any F1s crashing for a long time. Whereas the first couple of hours they were moving everywhere. I'm just contemplating going long for the last half hour because they've just not come short, but it says otherwise. Just plopped in another little ball, followed it straight down and it's nailed it. Might be a carp this, the way he's fighting. He's an angry mofo anyway. Waiting for me, little mirror. £4. Good £4 now. Right, a new swim at 11 metres now. It's about 4 inches deeper. It's probably the deepest part of the peg there. I had a couple of skimmers and that ghosty at 5 sections. That was it, nothing. They don't seem to settle. You catch one and then you gotta wait. Normally it's brilliant the last hour, but it's actually been just iffy. Just putting an odd fish in the net, that's all. I mean, after the start I thought, crikey, I could catch £100, but as expected it's not lasted that long. Come on, we are in February. Got over £50, haven't I? I got 60, something like that. Yeah, I'm fishing about 11 metres now. I'll struggle to hold any more than that at the moment, the way that wind's blowing. It says 4B16, it's half a gram, it's a prototype float, carbon stem, slim, nice 1.5mm hollow bristle, and that's on 8 to 10 slick, and a couple of back shot halfway up, and then 016 main line, and then I've got a bulk of number 8s, 2 number 9 droppers. The last number 9 dropper is actually on the hook length, just below the hook length loop to loop, just straightens out them loops. 6-inch hook length actually, and I've got a size 16, so that's it. And then the other rig exactly the same for down the edge exactly the same, 8 to 10 slick. That's his 4B tar 0.2, but this one's got a wire stem because there's a little bit more, I want a bit more stability down the side, and then just a strung bulk of number 10s, and then number 10 on the hook length, 010 to a 16 again. Nice and simple. Can you go all the way around that little bit, Dave? You come around that way.
You'd make us do that, no wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Is anyone caught?
John.
The gaffer apparently.
Is he? What weight?
500
£500.
Right. Well, I've had some ghosty stockies today.
Yeah, they've been in here a while.
Have they?
Yeah. Lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look at them. Look at him, man. Look at that ghosty. He's lovely.
68.13.
Well, that weren't too bad. I've had £68. Should be hopefully top 3 with that. I've heard John Birchall's caught really well on Scarecrow Point. We'll have to see how little gear is and the other legs of fish, but £68 in February, not bad at all. Who's that there? Who's that? Hey? Yeah, you don't look very happy, do you? Go on, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Right then. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that as much as I did. For February, that was absolutely fantastic fishing. At least the first 90 minutes to 2 hours, it was like, I thought I was on for £100. A few days of settled weather and the wind blowing up that way. A lot of people said it was a bit of a bizarre choice of peg for a rover. Certainly not a run to peg 8 on Molands. I did want peg 60, but there was 3 pleasure anglers or season ticket holders on that bank. So I've been scratched by the cat there. So yeah, so there was 3 anglers on there in the 50s to 60. So I couldn't choose there. So I thought, right, I'll go up that end of the lake, but on the other bank. And as I'm on that bank on the Winter League at the weekend, I thought, well, I'll just go there for a practice. Even if I don't catch, it's a good practice for the weekend. When I walked round in the morning, there was no fish moving, but it just looked fishy. The wind was blowing up that way and everything. So and as it proved, they were there from the off on pellets. It's great to catch that early on the pole. Often you can wait an hour at least before you catch on the pole at Packington. And yeah, worked pretty hard and caught some nice fish, some nice little ghosties as well, some ghost mirrors, which I didn't realise were in that lake. I know they're all in big gearies, but I've not seen them in Molands, so it was nice to see those fish as well. And so a real mixture of F1 sizes, a few little skimmers and bits and bobs, but yeah, all on the pellet, working hard at it. Little balls of ground bait and micros and a 4mm expander, and just messing around with quantities and everything. It probably looked like very, very meagre amounts I was feeding a pot. It certainly did with me looking back at the footage, but it seemed to be right. If I fed loads of bait, I didn't get a bite, and if I fed a tiny pinch, I wouldn't get a bite. So it's somewhere in between, trying to strike that happy medium that wouldn't put those clever F1s off. And they are clever, they are very clever and very moody in that lake. So anyway, but I've ended up ducking and diving the last couple of hours, just putting whatever I can into the net, and I've ended up with £68.15, which in February is absolutely fantastic for me. I'm really happy to catch that from Packington. It's all relative, but that sort of weight at Packington is very, very good. Dave Elliott was third with £67 from Little Gearies.
and I think there was another 60, might have been 2 more 60s actually, so it fished well that day. So Roy Beasley was 4th with £60 off his usual favourite peg 6 on Annie's. So and John Birchall, the fishery manager, he won the match with £92 off peg 46. He's had at least 6 or 7 big carp in that. Yeah, from peg 46, which is well, it's a noted flyer, but for 3 months no one's caught a thing off it. I've drawn it twice and it's just been rubbish. Scarecrow Point has been rubbish all winter, so maybe that's a sign that they're starting to wake up a little bit and starting to behave a little bit more, these F1s. So but yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And I can't promise my next few winter matches will be that good, but you just got to savour the good ones when they come along, haven't you? So anyway, I'll see you on another match.